Welcome, guys. We're talking the European Rlcs X Regional 2 of the Winter Split. We're going to go over what could happen on day 1, the predictions here, and then we're going to move on to day 2. We'll probably do in a prediction video right after day 1 ends, hopefully, if I remember, and so on and so forth throughout the weekend. We might not do from day 3 to day 4 because then the kids will be home and I'll be watching the kids and stuff. But we'll try and do it at least between day 1 and day 2, and day 2 and day 3. So let's get into it. So the way this all worked out, how you got your seeds, it was based on your Regional 1 performance plus your grid performance. So it was just equal points, not 1/3 anymore, just because there's less grids, there's less points overall. So that's how that all worked out. If you weren't in the grid, then you were safely locked into at least your spot, but you lose all tiebreakers to grid teams. So if you were tied, like a 4-way tie, you would finish 4th in that spot. So that only really matters a lot for Team Queso down here because they're not in the grid. So let's get into it. Let's start at the top and we'll work our way down. Fadeaway and Triple Trouble. This is a rematch from the closed qualifier where Triple Trouble took it in Game 5. This one I think could go either way. I think both these teams have some pop-off potential, and I think if they were playing anyone outside of BDS, that would matter. But I think BDS will probably win that. We'll put BDS over here in the winner's quarters. But for the match itself, I think I'm going to give it to Fadeaway. I think they'll get the revenge here in Game 5 from last time, and I think Fadeaway will take it. I think this one is definitely a coin flip. It could go either way, but we'll go Fadeaway for that one. Moving on, Oxygen has the lead in this group. And again, it's very important to make the winner's quarters because then you will finish at least top 12. But if you lose, you go back down to losers round 1, no matter where you lose in round 2 or round 1, and you have to fight your way out of day 2 to make it back to that top 12. So you can still come in last even if you make it to winners round 2. Wolves Esports, they had a great run. The last time around, they actually got an auto qualification spot, but then when the grid happened, things didn't look too good. They actually got 0 points in the grid. Only one of 2 teams to get 0 points from the grid. Versus the Curlin kids. I'm going to have to look up who the Curlin kids are. Creamy, Rexo, and Edgebay? Edgebay? I'm not sure how to say it. Either way, I think Wolves pulls out that win. A relatively high seed for them. I think they have the 9th seed overall because I think Oxygen is 8. So Wolves, I think they'll get the win there. And then against Oxygen, I do think Oxygen is the better team. We'll see if that matters because, it's their first game coming in. Maybe they'll start off cold, but I do think Oxygen pulls it off. I think Wolves, maybe not a one-hit wonder, but I think what they did last time, they'll definitely do worse than they did in Regional 2. So Oxygen, I think, moves on there to play BDS in the winners' quarters. Then we go Giants Gaming, leading the group here. I believe that's the 4 seed, if I'm not mistaken. 4 or 5 seed. Versus Dignitas or Train Hard Esports. Who's on Train Hard right now? Because I know they made some with Cryptos, Econ, and Cataclysm. Dignitas, obviously, they looked better in their first regional, but I think a lot of that was they basically just had to beat Fadeaway to survive their group, right? And then they made it out of their group, and they got to finish up top 12. But then they lost to the Wolves, kind of a bad result for them at that point. And then they didn't get any points in the grid as well, very much like the Wolves. I think apparently Jack is still trying to figure out how to play in this team. I think he's still a little bit nervous. I've seen a lot of missed touches from him late in series in Game 5s. So maybe the nerves creeping up on him. Maybe he'll get used to it by now. I think they still beat Train Hard, but I don't give them a chance against Giants right now. I just think Giants are the better team. Now, Dignitas has been keeping it close with good teams, which is a good sign, but I don't think they'll win a series here versus the Giants just yet. We'll see. Maybe right now is that time that apparently Jack just shows up and pops off. It could be now, but I'm going to go Giants here moving on. No upset so far. Then Denied and Saw Squad. Who's on Denied and Saw Squad? I can't remember every single team, so I got to do some research here. Saw Squad, Yukis, Rise, and Metal Shishu. And people say I say that wrong, but oh well. It is what it is. So a pretty decent team. A team of players that, have all seen some success throughout Europe. And then Team Denied. Why is Denied not showing up on here? Team Denied. Where are you? There they are. Billy, Chip. Oh, yeah, Chippy and Justice. Okay, so last time that they had a really good run, Denied. I think they're going to be denied that good run this time. I'm going to give it to Saw Squad. I get the Team Denied. They look great, but still. I'm going to go Saw Squad. I want to see an upset somewhere, so I'll go Saw Squad here. And then Guild Esports. They're looking pretty good with Devo. Devo is playing incredibly well. I like this team a lot right now. I was actually pleasantly surprised that they're playing this well. Do I give it to him? Yes, I think I have to give it to Guild still. I think Europe still has a very top-heavy region. So I think Guild moves on as well. Next up, now this one's pretty stacked. Top Blokes get Solary or Team Liquid. Solary with Tox, not looking good so far. I actually want to look up any head-to-heads these two teams have. So give me 2 seconds. Have it over here. But Team Liquid, obviously, last time around didn't go so well. But Team Liquid looked a little bit better in the grid. So we'll see. Team Liquid has beat them 4 times in a row. Now, this was all in the fall. So take that as you will, because now it's new rosters for both teams. I think I will give it to Team Liquid, though. Like, if they have beat them 4 times in a row in the past, with Tox, it hasn't been working out yet. And Ronicky, I think at some point Team Liquid is going to start showing up. So I will give Team Liquid the win there, just because also Grid went okay for them. They won their group, and then I think they lost, round 1? So didn't really work out as well. But Top Blokes versus Team Liquid, Top Blokes. I just don't see upsets here. So I'm going to go Top Blokes as well here to move on. They just won Grid. Makes sense. Galaxy Racer, not a good result in the first regional, but they still have managed to get one of those top 8 seeds because of their great grid performance where they beat PDS. So Galaxy Racer versus Redemption or Atlantide Wave. Sazin, Prime, and Radisson. So I don't know them too well. And then Redemption, just to clarify, Cash, Mike Boy, and Ocelon. So Redemption's been pretty solid. They kind of sputtered out in the last regional, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, where they looked good at first and then they kind of just fell apart on day 2. But Redemption, I like them. They're moving on. Galaxy Racer last time got upset in this round. I don't see it. I don't know. Maybe I'm boring, but I don't see it. So I'm going to go Galaxy Racer to move on there. Vitality and Endpoint or Rix.gg. I think Endpoint does beat Rix, but I think that could be an upset potential because Endpoint hasn't been playing at their best. And then Vitality, they don't lose to these teams, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to put Vitality in. Team Queso is that one team where I'm iffy on. Team Singularity, I think, can definitely take them out. Team Singularity hasn't popped off as... they've looked okay at times, but they haven't done anything too special. Came in last in their groups in Grid, then had to play BDS, lost to them. But I've liked what I've seen from them, even though their success hasn't been all that great. I think Team Singularity has a chance to upset Team Queso here, and I'm going to move Team Singularity on. You choose Pesquet. I don't think that they're going to do too much here. So, in terms of my top 8 for Winners Quarter, we got BDS versus Oxygen, Giants versus Guild, Blokes versus Galaxy Racer. Not a lot of upsets today. I just don't see them. Vitality versus Team Singularity. It's the only upset I have. Team Queso, I believe, is like the 7th seed or something like that, which I guess makes sense because they would be 2. So that's not a huge upset, 10 versus number 7, but I'm going to go with that. So that is what I have going on here for the predictions for Europe. Now, remember, day 1, it's all these games. Day 2 will be the lower bracket, round 1 and round 2, and only 4 will survive to top 12. Day 3 is kind of a mixture. We play out some of these quarters. We play a semi, and we play some of these lowers as well until we get down to top 6, which is for day 4, and we'll see what happens. Now, BDS, if I have to do a prediction for the whole thing, I have BDS winning the whole thing because I just don't see them being stopped anytime soon. They obviously showed some weakness in Grid, but they've shown that before, and that hasn't really mattered. BDS is one of those teams where it's like right now they have like a 95% win rate in Rlcsx, and I did the calculation, if they were going to lose based on that 95% win rate, so basically they have to win 5 series in a row at 95% win rate. That's about a 23% chance that they lose, and that's only to lose once. And then they still would have to lose again somewhere else. So I don't see it likely that BDS loses this. Obviously, it's possible. I think Pop-Off Oxygen has a chance to take them down. I think Vodafone Giants definitely do. So on that side, it's not the easiest side, I would say, because I know Oxygen has had their number before, which not recently. And then on the other side, Vitality is also so dominant, so it's really, really hard to tell what's going to happen there. But if I had to pick, obviously BDS. There's not a lot of upsets here. I don't know why. There's just not a lot in Europe. kind of boring, but at the same time, it just shows how great BDS is, how great Vitality is. But yeah, so that's going to do it for this episode. We'll try and do another one tonight, and then we'll continue throughout the weekend when I can. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you tune in, twitch.tv/Rocket League for the show. It starts in an hour and a half for the pre-show as of right now when I'm recording this. So definitely go check it out. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.